Hi everyone. It is me. Sailor. It is me. Sailor Venus. Our Sailor Hellworld, Mina here. And it's me, Artemis here. And we're going to give our thoughts on the Sailor Moon saga that we saw on Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork or Adult Swim or Grown Up Swim. This one does not have a deep one to it at all. Unless you watch Fighter for Love fan dubs, then you might get the deep one. But the truth is, there is no deep one. So this one starts out that Amy and Lita and Ray are at the game middle, seeking the opening to the Dark Kingdom, wondering how the Dark Kingdom gets all those foes, brings all those fiends out. But there's no luck. Then Serena comes in, and she's bitching about how she's hungry and she's sleepy. And Luna said they looked at every eating hall they could think of, and there's no opening anywhere. And then Serena bitches about being hungry. And then, Amy said, everybody's working here. Lita said, you already ate earlier. Ray said, yeah, you got to tough it up, Serena. And Luna said, you already ate before we got here. Then Mina shows up with Artemis. I show up with Artemis and tell everyone we looked at every bathhouse there was, and there's no opening to the Dark Kingdom. Then Queen Beryl is with Malachite, and they're still brainwashing Darien. And Queen Metalia, takes a mite from Darien and says that Darien will take over for her if something should happen. Then Malachite tells Beryl about his goal to have Trina from the 4-1 Kingdom, one of Mina's old friends, and that she'll help them. And Queen Beryl said, yeah, do what you gotta do. Then Serena has another nightmare about Darien, and then Artemis runs in and makes her choke on a donut, which is probably one of the grounds why Dee cut it out, I guess. And while she's seeking to get this donut and down her mouth, and she's asking for water, Artemis is like, where'd Mina go? Luna said, didn't Mina tell you? No, she just took off and left. And then Serena gets a donut down. Sorry about that. I mean, it's sad that they were mean to Serena. She was choking. They should have helped her. Yeah, I know, we should have had. Then it's shown that I was talking with Katrina, a woman that I had met back when I lived in the 4-1 Kingdom, and she wanted to meet the Sailor Fighters and fight with them. But I said I loved Katrina as an older sister and didn't want to put her in harm's way and ran. Before Trina could do anything, Malachite showed up and had a fiend take over her. So, after that, I'm outside thinking about Alan and Trina and all the things that happened. And then a fiend shows up and strikes me. And it's Trina, because she had a necklace on. And then Serena shows up, becomes Sailor Moon. And then Luna and Artemis help fight off the fiend. Then Serena becomes a sailor, and we go on a ship. And then I tell her a little bit about what's going. I said, I asked, how do you know to seek me? And then Luna says that her and Artemis had looked up where a woman by the name of Trina was being at. And there were a lot of guest houses, and only one guest house had Trina Wilton. And that's how they kind of knew where I went. And Artemis said after he looked all the guest houses, that Trina Wilton came up on one of them. And that's how we knew you went to see her and how we went to see you, where he knew you were at. So we get to a forsaken ship, and we go inside, and then in one of the rooms somewhere, I tell Serena that when I was in London, England, 4-1 Kingdom, where I grew up at, I met a man named Alan, and we were good friends. And then one day, I happened to help Trina, who was a law keeper, who was after some thief or some fear striker or some outlaw of some kind. But he was a fiend that took a young girl. I helped by kicking this fiend in the throat. The fiend shifts into dust. Everyone is so happy and onlooking me for what I did. And the girl thanks me. After that, Trina and us become friends. I tell Serena and Luna and Artemis about how me and Trina were more like an older sister and younger sister, how we hanged out a lot, how we became good friends, and how over time Alan and Trina reasoned with me in many of my outings. And then one day there was a fear striker that we were after. And I went inside the house and he threw a fire shot and it blew up. And I was all right. And Trina and Alan believed I died. And that's when I learned that Alan and Trina had fallen in love, but they didn't tell me at the time. So then the fiend shows up again and is at the ship and saying, hey, I'm going to slay you. And then Sailor Moon's like, Serena's like, I don't care if you know who I am. She becomes Sailor Moon. And that's when Sailor Venus tells Sailor Moon not to harm Trina. It's the fiend that took over her. It's her mistake that Trina, became the fiend. It's her mistake not knowing that Trina and Alan were in love. And then Sailor Moon heals the fiend out of Trina. Then Trina asks Mina to forgive her for not telling her that her and Alan were in love. And Mina forgives Trina. And they say their goodbyes. And then Trina sails back to the 4-1 kingdom. And then Amy and Lita and Mina are there. They're like, should we help Mina? And Serena says, no, don't help her. She'll do all right. She'll need some time. She'll get over it. And then Mina says at the end, yeah, you know what I say at the end, Artemis? That I'm happy that Alan and Trina chose each other. And their feelings is what's needed. And their feelings are the only thing needed. And then I throw that likeness away in the sea. So this was the only saga of Sailor Moon that Deke did not do. There were many other ones, but this was the last one from the first following, and for whatever grounds, sake or why, Deke did not do anything with it, either on the grounds of the fire shot being blown, the fire shot that almost killed me, or Serena choking on a donut. Whatever grounds, Deke Glee in the Walt Disney business at the time chose not to do anything with this one. We'll see you later for the next one.